IVM.
Hey all, my name is Siddharth and I'm the traveling professor. And I teach various subjects like digital transformations, marketing, business of media, blah blah blah, etc. This podcast is my diary of sorts. This is the traveling professor's diary where I share cheer, insights, anecdotes from my journey and experiences. This is what I have in store for you today. What is your turning point of your life? Or have there been more than one turning points? It's interesting, isn't it? When you look at turning points, you suddenly realize that in hindsight, you look back upon your life and say, okay, I had a choice there and I didn't make that choice, or I did make that choice, or somebody else helped me with something and things just turned really bad or really good. Well, if you have to look at the really good, then I had a wonderful after-class conversation with some of my students about a month back. They were all ladies. It was an MBA class, and it was an incredible thing. It was something that started off in class, but it's something that went ahead. And I just thought that maybe I needed to really understand, what made them tick. And the question was about how they were encouraged, to be where they are in spite of coming from really conservative backgrounds or really small towns, where obviously everything is conservative. I had a fair mix. I mean, there were people from, for example, Raipur, or even the person who was from South Mumbai was coming from an incredibly conservative family. And when we say conservative family and when we say, small towns, we know that, it's the sad truth, but women are not encouraged to live their lives, nor are they actually encouraged to step out of their boundaries or go to some other town or city to have a further education. These students were in my MBA class. They were in their second year. They've been placed. They've now going to live their lives. And I was kind of asking them what happened and how does that work with the rest of their background. One girl told me that she was, found out by her mom on Facebook because she used to lie. She used to tell her nothing about her college life. And then her mom found out from Facebook that, she had gone off to some college trip and she saw some photos, and that's how she came to know. And then an honest conversation ensued. That honest conversation resulted in the mother understanding her child's perspective and actually encouraging her to step out and live large. The same thing happened with the girl from South Mumbai. I mean, she was going through a very low phase and she was becoming more and more introverted. And this was a family, mind you, wherein all the decisions were not even taken by the parents, but by the grandparents. Okay, all family decisions. But her mother, again, came to her rescue and recognized her child's mood and her state of affairs, and just asked her to do something else and encouraged her to leave the city and come to Pune and do her education. Well, it was an incredible insight to understand that these turning points were kind of given by the moms. And we keep talking about, how the patriarchal system in India is and the rest of it, but we must understand that it is a family system, right? So all the women in the world must be contributing to patriarchy as well. Nevertheless, it was because of these women, their mothers, that these girl students could actually step out and live their lives and were encouraged to, do what they wanted. And just because their mothers said they didn't have a chance to do it and they did not want the same thing to happen to their children. So a shout out to all these mothers who are actually breaking norms. I think a lot of it is happening because of social media as well as genuine regular media, wherein people are beginning to understand the way in which lives could be led. And the younger generation is sometimes benefiting out of it. Thank you so much once again to all those moms. And this was my diary entry for the day. A turning point in your life. What's your turning point? I'd love to know that. And if you like to listen to this diary entry, well, there are many more coming up. And there are many more such podcasts on ivmpodcast.com, or just download the app. And if you want to follow me, well, I am the Traveling Professor, and you can find me on LinkedIn or Instagram. Thank you and see you soon.
I hope you enjoyed that show. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, HDFC Life and Paytm Money. Also, just a very quick note, I would really appreciate it if you guys could fill out a really short survey on our website. It's on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It's just a brand recognition survey for us to kind of work with the advertisers and give them some data. So it's a very short, less than 1 minute survey. Really appreciate your help in filling it out. And let me tell you a couple of things that you should check out this week. On paperback, Rachita and Satyajit are joined by the host of Litnama, Lakshmi Krishnan. They talk about women's role in writing and fiction written by women. On The Habit Coach, we have a Women's Day special where Ashton talks about periods, PMS, PCOD, and other taboo subjects which shouldn't be taboo at all. On the Empowering series, Zarina is joined by actor Jim Sarb. They talk about the art of storytelling and his unconventional characters. On Agla Station Adulthood, Ayushi and Ritasha talk about coming of rage and coming of age. On IVM Lives, Ritika, Alika and Antarish welcome new producer at IVM, Sumit, to discuss their ultimate fantasy jobs. Don't miss Sumit's first ever recommendation on the show. Thanks and keep listening.
Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, Don Bradman, and now Cyrus Brocha. Okay, probably not in the right company. I mean, Don Bradman is Australian. But it's called Cyrus Says, a wonderful show about everything. Find the show on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you listen to podcasts.